Alright, hey. Hodgepodge.
We need some lighting.
Okay.
What up?
Do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get some light.
That's all I got.
Oh, you got. Should it be closer?
It's cool. I mean, whatever you
Look at me! Look at me trying to stage you. All right, let's see what we
Okay.
can do. Let's see. Or is it is it like a stand, like so it's a little.
We can do it on the table, I guess. Right here is cool.
But I don't think we'll be in the shot. Okay, so what if we're on like the corner and it's like on the corner? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like.
And
be
I'll
like,
just come over here.
Yeah. So like.
So,
Alright, you gonna edit this down?
I'm gonna try, but I don't know.
You don't know how to edit stuff down?
So we took like 5 minutes just trying to get this.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question I would say is.
Hold on, let's get you in here too. Cause you the host. What's that?
I say the first question is, do you think women should be slut shamed?
Slut shamed.
I know that's a heavy one. That's a heavy one.
Slut shamed. Personally, I'm not a fan of that term. Slut shamed, like, so if she's freely expressing like her sexual desires, no, I don't think she should be.
So I'm gonna tell you why I asked that question.
Okay.
So my my best friend, my brother Poogie, and then Kaneo, my sister Candy, they came and if you call someone a hoe, that is disrespectful. But I said, you ever heard the song "Hoes and like we ain't got nothing in this world but hoes and tricks," and like that's where modern day society is going in America. Now I know this is like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying if you look at how it's moving.
Society.
Yeah, in America, unfortunately, the West is moving that way. So, I think that, like slut shaming, I don't think that that's appropriate, and I don't think that a girl that's a virgin should be shamed either.
For sure.
So, that's where I'm coming from.
So I think just in general what you're saying is like, yeah, you should have freedom of choice over your body, whether that means reserving it for someone one day and you're a virgin and you don't feel like that's a part of you that you're ready to share, right? Or if you feel like something is freeing when you go out here and like have different episodes or whatever you want to call it with different people, you can find freedom and comfort in that. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on a lot of things. But I would never shame another woman for that choice. I would just hope that if that's something that's important to her, that she's like being safe and considering her safety. Because being a woman, especially a black woman in this country, can be very dangerous. In this world, for that matter.
Well, I don't think being a woman.
Well, you're not a woman.
But I don't think being a woman here in America, I mean, we have the most safest, I think, environment for women. Well, I'm not going to say the safest.
How many black women have you talked to about that?
Well, I think it's just the, off of the, you know what I mean? Like off the statistics. The statistics show that men are more likely to be assaulted.
Sexual assault?
No, not sexual. I'm just saying like physically assaulted in America. I mean, these are like.
But definitely sexual assault is women.
Yeah, definitely. They overwhelming sexual assault, but I mean that. Yeah, I mean of course that's unfortunate, but at the same time it's not as prevalent as it's being like broadcast, unfortunately.
I think safety is something I think about a lot all the time. For
myself,
for my family, for my daughter. She's a petite build.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think about safety a lot, and that's from my experience growing
Personal
up
experience.
as a black woman in America.
So, in saying that is also the understanding that, you know, even though it's not as prevalent, what do you think? I guess needs to be done as far as making, and I'm not saying like it's safer, but making women not believe that, like, not go down that road of, you know, every man is trying to sexually assault her. I guess what needs to be done for that. Not necessarily. It doesn't. I mean, it may be. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation. I understand the question is kind of crazy, but like, what do you think needs to happen for a woman to be like, all right, not every man is trying to sexually assault you?
I mean, men need to demonstrate more respect. I mean, I'm a proponent.
No, even if they don't. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm a
what do you
proponent
think?
of community, right? So, like, I think that to some degree, the men who are already here and think the way that they think aren't really going to change but so much, right? So you always got to be thinking about the next generation and like the future. And I think in general, you know, creating healthy communities like all around makes everybody safer. So whether that be women related to like the sexual piece, because you have young men who are going to be understanding about like how to respect a woman, and they're going to see those examples from a young age. So, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be.
Yeah, they're gonna basically be.
You are your environment, right? Like when you're young and growing up. So like, yeah, if you have a bunch of young boys now being very aggressive with girls around sex based on things they've watched and seen, I mean that's what was fed to them, right? So they're gonna have a certain attitude towards women. Like you was watching porn when you was 10. You know, all these COVID kids who was in school who was supposed to be doing work. But, you know, they online now. So you got all this craziness online that I think really affected the way that a lot of kids over the pandemic, you know, kind of viewed things because they were kind of unleashed online for hours at a time. Even now it's hard to get them offline, right? So I just think that's going to be harder to rein them back in. We really got to think about ways to strengthen our community, like just as a whole, in terms of what they're.
I mean, I think you touched on something else with porn. I think porn should be regulated. Me personally.
Regulated how? What do you mean by that?
It does not need to. I
free?
don't think boys, because they actually took over countries with porn.
What do you mean they took over countries?
They took over like one. I think it was like a Muslim country that they like they took like pictures of naked women and they just flooded the streets with them, and then like the next day they came in and just hacked.
What?
Yeah, they messed.
They killed them because.
No. It was basically like the two countries were like going through like a dispute. I think it was like over like religion or money or whatever like that. And they said, all right, well, we got something for you. And
let's corrupt
let's corrupt your, you know what I'm saying?
Your youth with
With
pornography.
this. Right. And because it actually is it's a biological, like problem, like with porn is a biological problem. And we're seeing that, you know, not a lot of men are going out and trying to meet women because they have porn in the house and they're, you know what I'm saying, satisfying themselves, and then they're not, you know what I'm saying, they're not.
I mean, the same
lifting weights
could go for women, right? Like some women are choosing to not depend for so much on men because they can feel like, well, I got toys that can get me where I need to go. So like, what are you bringing to the table? You know, like it can go both ways. I think it's not just men.
I don't
Women.
think, I don't
do
think that,
you know how like popular that Rose toy was? Like everybody was talking about that.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think women would not take relationships seriously because they have the power to please themselves?
without men, there would be no streets, there would be no buildings. We do a lot of the
Women
infrastructure.
can do construction too, but
I mean, but I'm just saying it's proper.
no, I'm saying if I'm a dating woman, right? Like if I'm out here in these streets and I'm meeting people,
Right.
you have to bring something
To the table.
Yeah, but like you have to compliment what I'm already doing, like, because otherwise, are you missing something?
My cell phone. What in the world? Like,
Isn't that what we're recording on?
oh.
Stop the tape. Stop. What is happening? Okay, we need an intervention. We need an intervention.